If someone calls you a punk or a bitch in prison, you've got no choice but to fight. When you first go in and the gang explain all the rules, they tell you, someone calls you a punk, calls you a bitch, or hits you, you gotta fight them on the spot. Otherwise, all of your race will smash you. Doesn't matter how big and bad and tough you think you are. If you back down after someone calls you a punk or a bitch, the gang will send torpedoes, probates, dudes looking to just earn their stripes by committing violence, get their reputations built, earn some tattoos into your cell, and they go in there like a pack of wolves, so you don't stand a chance. I got used to the sounds of those bodies getting smashed around, heads cracking against toilets. Now, there was a situation where I was living. I was in a 45-man pod. There was 4 main gangs: whites, blacks, Mexicans, Mexican Americans. And the head of the blacks called the head of the whites out. The head of the whites was a guy called Carter. He'd become cocky because his sidekick was this huge cage fighter guy called Gravedigger. So Carter, with Gravedigger by his side, was thinking he was invincible until the day the head of the blacks called him out. So I'm just going to read from Hard Time what I documented actually happened. So Chow was in the house. We lined up at the door of our IDs, and then Carter said to the head of the blacks, Smackdown, a beefy young boxer, "You need to stop sweating the woods, dog," because Smackdown had been bullying people out of commissary food you could buy from the inmate store. So Carter was telling him to stop bullying the whites, the woods, call them the woods, out of commissary. "Who've I been sweating?" Smackdown yelled. "I can't say names," Carter said, "but as the head, people have been complaining about you bulldogging them." "I ain't bulldog nobody. That's not what people are saying. If fools have got a problem with me, they need to come and tell me to my face. That's what I'm talking about. The people you've been sweating are afraid of you. Fuck them then. You need to keep yourself in check. People are sick of your bulldogging. I ain't putting myself in check. You can go fuck yourself too. You calling me out?" Now, calling someone out means you want them to fight you. You're going to give them no choice by calling them a punk or a bitch or hitting them. That's calling someone out. So what he does next is, he confirms he's calling them out. He says, "Hell yeah, I'm calling you out. Ain't no punk ass white boy telling me how I'm supposed to behave around here." As soon as he called the head of the whites a punk ass white boy, that's fighting words. The head of the whites now has no choice but to fight. So, Smackdown, he'd never lost a fight. Carter yelled, "You'll see who's the punk. Let's take this to cell 3. That was under the stairs. The stairs kind of blocked the view from the guards a little bit, so people preferred to fight in cell number 3. So they both went into cell 3. What we're waiting for, Smackdown went in first. And then they started fighting, bouncing around. But Smackdown, he was like a professional fighter. Bam, he hits Carter in the head. Carter was throwing some wild kicks and punches, wasn't getting anywhere. He jabbed Carter in the head, and then he was dancing around. He fell forward and bam, just got smacked in the head. He tried to kick Smackdown in the nuts, but it didn't work, and then bam, right under the chin. He got the shit beat out of him, and he ran out of the cell, and he sat back down with the whites. So he's lost the fight, he's been called out, he's gone and sat back down with the whites. This is not a good situation. Voices rose from all the tables. "Handle your business, Carter. Finish the fight. You can't just run away from a fight. Yeah, Carter, get back in the cell." So this is the head of the whites now, and all of his own race are turning on him because he's been called out, he's been called a punk, a bitch, and he's not finished the fight. This is how serious these words are in prison. Carter said, "I went in already. We fought. He won. I handled my business." People weren't happy with that. "What the fuck? You're supposed to be the head of the whites. You have to fight, dog. You're our head. You're making us look bad to the other races. You gotta go back in. Go back in, Carter. I already fought. Now, SmackDown comes out the cell and calls him out again. Fucking punk ass bitch. Get back in here, motherfucker. I'm calling your punk ass out, you fucking bitch. You just call him punk and bitch twice. This is like worst thing you can do now, worst thing you can say. Carter still wouldn't go back in, so Gravedigger, his own sidekick, his own main goon, stood up, put his hands on his hips, glowered down at Carter. The whole room went quiet. He says, "Man up, Wood." So basically now, you could tell that if Carter isn't going to go in, his own main guy is going to smash him. So Carter, he's clocking this now, so he stands up, he goes, "Fuck it, I'll fight him again," and he went back in. SmackDown had got his breath back. Same thing happens. Carter, his heart wasn't in the fight. SmackDown just pulverizes him. And he ended up running out so fast this time, Carter, that he collided with the stairs. Gravedigger marched up to Carter. "Roll your shit up, Wood. I'm the new head of the Whites. Does any of you Woods have a problem with this?" And then he just looked at every single member of the white race and nobody had a problem with it because Carter couldn't get the job done on SmackDown. He'd been called out twice and he just kept running away from the fight. So if you get called a punk or a bitch and you don't fight, you're going to get attacked by your own race. Obviously I didn't go around calling people punks and bitches. I was laying low, just trying to avoid trouble. The closest I got in trouble over those words was, I had a workout partner, some Yugoslavian dude, and we put toilet rolls in a sock and we were like we were working out, we were doing punches like this. It's like a little punch bag hanging off the rack. And then some dudes come in and they were watching us and I said, "Do you guys want to join in or are you just going to stay there and be cheerleaders?" And then this gang member comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you calling me a bitch? Sounds like you calling me a bitch, calling me a cheerleader." And then my workout partner got in the middle right away and he says, "Hey look, England doesn't go around disrespecting people like that. He's a good dude, you know, he was just trying to get you guys to join in." And I just looked the guy straight in the face because I knew it was about to go off if I didn't act fast. And I said, "Look, I apologize if you thought I was calling you a bitch. That wasn't what my intention was. I was just trying to encourage you guys to join in with us." And I offered my hand out for him to shake. So he had a choice at that second. He could have shook my hand or he could have like punched me or headbutted me. And he chose to shake my hand. So through what I responded, I was able to make that situation go away. So anything can happen at any time in there. People can just look at each other the wrong way and you know people can get upset. But you just got to stand firm with people. And if someone's accused you of something, you know, and you think you might have done something a bit wrong, like I could have been seen as doing something a bit wrong in that case, then just stand your ground and apologize like a man, and you won't have to go into a cell and have a fight and duke it out. But if someone calls you punk ass bitch and gets right in your face, like the head of the Blacks did to Carter, you have got no choice but to start wailing on that dude. Otherwise, they're gonna send a pack in on you of torpedoes, are just going to smash the shit out of you in your cell and have you roll up. And once that's happened to you and you end up in another part of the prison or the jail, they see you being beat up, you're probably going to get beat up again everywhere you go. Alright, if you got any more questions about prison, jail, put them in the comments section. Thank you for all your interest. Hope you enjoyed that story from Hard Time.